tip at 7:20 Eastern for those slated to see Texas A&M and BYU. Likewise, we'll get you to the start of that contest. Enjoy tonight's tournament action, everyone. The madness continues here on CBS.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the Men's Basketball Championship is sponsored by Saturn, Bud Light, UPS, and by AT&T.
Welcome to our nation's capital, and tonight game 3 of the West Region matches Belmont against Duke, the 15th seed against the number 2 seed in the West. And earlier this afternoon, Xavier advanced with a comeback win over Georgia, and Purdue earned a trip to the second round with a runaway win over Baylor. We check the starting lineups tonight. Belmont, an up-tempo team, and senior Justin Hare can run, averages nearly 15 points a game. And you know, Duke, talented. Keep an eye on the 6'8" freshman Kyle Singler, good for over 13 points a game. For Belmont, the head coach, Rick Byrd, in his 22nd year from the NAIA to Division I back in 1996. Belmont 25-8, the Atlantic Sun champion. And of course, on the other side, Coach K, Mike Krzyzewski, in his 28th season, 24th tournament, and it starts tonight here in the nation's capital. Tonight's game is being brought to you in HDTV by HP. So it's the ACC Bob against the Atlantic Sun.
Well, Mike Krzyzewski is feeling a little under the weather, had the flu yesterday. Was not very much himself in practice, and it'll be interesting to see how his team responds. Belmont, of course, the story for them is they've taken over 900 threes during the course of the season. That is their chief weapon.
That averages to 29 attempts a ball game. Duke is not shy from behind the arc, averaging 24 attempts. So expect a three-point barrage on both ends of the court, and the first possession goes off the leg of Gerald Henderson.
You mentioned Rick Byrd and his success at Belmont. Last year in the NCAA tournament, lost to Georgetown. The year before in the NCAA tournament, lost to UCLA. But they have played the best.
Bob, the big key for Belmont early is how they handle the on-your-belt buckle type defense that Duke is going to pressure all night long.
Yes, I think the Duke assistant coaches can read a stat sheet and realize that the three-point shot is the big weapon. So they will be up on people. They'll switch everything, and they'll try to jump in the passing lanes.
Three-pointer, what do you know? That's how we start. Matthew Dotson.
41% from downtown for Matthew.
Centerville, Tennessee is home, and Belmont strikes first. The 15th seed against number 2 Duke. Henderson puts it on the floor, tries the baseline, nicely shut down by Justin Hare. Hare, the heart and soul of Belmont.
Been there for a long time, the senior, all Atlantic Sun.
Hollis backs it out, shot clock trimmed down to 9, down to 8, down to 7. Good defense by Belmont. Forces Duke a little hurry up offense, but it's a 2, and it's dropped by Singler.
Full court pressure for the Blue Devils right here. They want to increase tempo.
Renfro kicks it out, corner shot, rims out, and Duke reaches in for the rebound. Singler just hit a jumper and gets a defensive rebound. Transition bucket. Paulus for 3.
Measure that one, my friend. Wow.
Duke up by 2. There's a steal. Belmont trying to force it into the paint. They come back the other way, and a foul at midcourt.
Well, Henderson ran right over Renfro. 6'5" over 6'1". Belmont will get the basketball back. What a terrific year Mr. Henderson has had, averaging nearly 13 a game. He is an electrifying athlete. We're going to see a lot of acrobatic stuff from him in this game.
Renfro kicks it out. Dansby back inside. Renfro squares up, little lefty push shot, good.
I think Renfro, Craig, is the key player in this game. And the reason I say that is Duke is going to pressure, and he's the quickest guy on the floor for Belmont. He's going to have to break people down on the dribble.
Well, and again, when you talk to the folks at Belmont, one word, speed. And you said the other, dribble. He's a speed dribbler. Once that ball is in the air, he catches and goes.
Yeah, he really does, and he's got the quicks to do it. And as this game wears on, we're going to see what kind of cardiovascular system Mr. Renfro has. He steps out momentarily. Rick Byrd substitutes frequently. He has had 21 different starting lineups this year. He's giving opportunity to people.
Yeah, if you play well in practice, you earn a starting spot. That's the way it works. Singler underneath the defense. Rebound put back. Rims out. Two good looks by Duke. And the Bruins of Belmont. Rebound and take it across midcourt. Nearly 3 minutes into the first half. We're tied at 5. Dotson draws a double team. Nearly threw that ball out of bounds. Justin Ayre. Ayre goes left hand, drives in, puts up the shot off the glass, and the tip drops for Dotson. Bob, offensive rebounds will play a factor as well off some missed shots.
This is a great start for the Bruins. Dotson taking care of business right here. Ayre goes to the basket. The help comes. Clear path to the basket for Matthew. Right place, right time.
What do you know about Belmont? Nashville, Tennessee, enrollment just under 5,000, and they come from the Atlantic Sun Conference. They are conference champions. They finished the season 13 straight wins.
They beat East Tennessee, Campbell, and Jacksonville in the tournament held at Lipscomb, which is also in Nashville.
Paulus rims out, rebound underneath. Thomas. Lance Thomas, the sophomore, scores his first 2, averages just under 5 points a ball game.
Advantage inside by Duke in terms of athleticism. Major in music business. Lots of country stars, graduates of there, and of course we've heard that Vince Gill is in the house today. He, a very close friend of Coach Byrd.
Golfing buddies, we understand, during the offseason. Belmont and Duke tied at 7 early. Nearly 4 minutes in. Andy Wick makes his first entrance. Dansby, Patience, Campbell. There's that tough defense. Duke continues to push you outside that perimeter. Went for the steal and a foul. Dansby picks up his first, 3rd team foul. Belmont and Duke tied at 7 on CBS. Well, in the stands, Bob, as you mentioned, the country music great Vince Gill, who's a close friend of Belmont head coach Rick Byrd. Also other alum of Belmont, Brad Paisley, Josh Turner, Tricia Yearwood, and Leanne Womack. If you're a country western fan, you know those names. And of course, Belmont, Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think his album is called These Days. This would be good for Belmont. These be the days right here.
Well, he's got a courtside seat right behind us. 7-7. Nearly 5 minutes in. And a foul as Coach Krzyzewski goes big. Brian Zubek, the 7-footer, finds early time and getting more time over the past several weeks.
Yeah, Mike is a little sick. You can see not as demonstrative as he usually is. Zubek had a fractured foot in July, and he's just coming on right now.
Well, in 23 games, averages 11 minutes. And the first free throw off the mark. Check out the nominees for the Pontiac game-changing performance of the tournament at Pontiac.com/NCAA, where you can also enter for a chance to win a Pontiac G8 and a trip for 8 to this year's Final Four in San Antonio.
I nominate Stanley Burrell as the most outstanding defensive player in our region so far.
Yes, you may, and I would agree with that.
Boy, did he do a job covering games. He's a tough player for Georgia today.
Zubek, a 44% shooter, makes 1 of 2. So Zubek on the board, sophomore from Haddonfield, New Jersey. There's the pressure we spoke of Duke. They like to put a blanket on you and a slap from behind. Nicely done. Nolan Smith off the bench. Zubik the rebound, lost it out of bounds. Last touch by Duke, and Belmont will get it back.
Quick hands by the Bruins on that one. Zubik's got to keep the ball above his head. When he brings it down, he's just like any ordinary 6'3" player. At 6'10", get that ball right underneath his chin.
First turnover by Duke. Another three on the way. Good stroke off the mark. Belcher had a good look. In transition, Shire reaches up and drops down two. Shire is sophomore from Northbrook, Illinois. 2-point shots, his specialty.
Well, the shooting comparison of these two teams, the three-point attempts, 29-24, both frequent and pretty accurate as well. Duke a little bit higher on their percentage. Knowing that, both teams will try to pressure and prevent those threes from flying. Both teams playing very aggressively and extending their D to prevent those threes from flying.
Both coaches have gone to their bench early here at a foul on a reach-in. And that will be on Wick. Andy Wick, his first. And the 15th foul on Belmont.
Dotson in again. He's gotten off to a good start. 5 points in the early going. Look for a lob.
Shire looks inside. McClure playing catch. He'll drive into paint. Put it up from 10. Rolls out. Zubik rebounds. And then when he came down, took that extra little stutter step. And back-to-back turnovers by Zubik.
One of the things that a big guy has to do when he's coming down after a rebound is try to be as wide as you can with your feet. That way you can't get knocked off balance. His feet were right next to one another. The ensuing turnover.
Renfro, little give and go. Traffic flew by, up and in off the glass. Nicely done. Alex Renfro, the senior, with a couple of buckets here in the opening half of play.
Rick Byrd challenged his team with some big-name teams this year. They won at Cincinnati. They won at Alabama.
Inside Zubik, tough shot for two. Nearly lost it. Was able to bring it back down, and that's 3 points off the bench for Zubik.
Business.
Renfro goes against Smith. Three-pointer off the mark. Belcher reached in. That ball is still free. Wick has it, and a fresh 35 on the shot clock. Boy, tenacious defense. That ball is loose. Blocked from behind. Brought back down. Renfro working hard. Oh, throws it away, and Duke will push it across midcourt. Alley-oop. Oh, my! Henderson.
Well, that's the electrifying athlete we thought we would see in this game, and we're going to see more of that as it wears on here.
14-9, Duke by 5. Cut it to 3, and the floater by Jordan Campbell, the freshman from Indianapolis. Played at North Central High School. Bob, I don't feel any panic with Belmont.
Not at all. I mean, they're playing. They're not trying to hold the ball or anything of that sort. They're going hard to the basket. Henderson from Shire in the air. Pretty tough shot right there. Shire reads it perfectly. Henderson can't dunk it. He's too far away. Uses the glass nicely. You know, sometimes you think of a 15 and a 2, and you think a school like Belmont playing Duke that they're going to hold the ball, but they're not doing that at all. They're just playing their normal game against Duke.
John House picked it up. No over and back. That ball was touched by Duke. House with 18 on the shot clock. No look pass down low. Nicely done. Again.
How about that backdoor pass?
Justin Hare says thank you very much.
If Pete Carrill's watching, he enjoyed that one. The famous Princeton coach who was sort of given the great credit for the backdoor part of the offense.
Smith wide open for 3. Nolan Smith, known for his defense, the freshman can launch. Blue Devils again extending that defense.
So far, they're doing a great job on Justin Hare. He hasn't had many opportunities right there. Smith on him. You said he's a good defender. He's all over their best player.
Inside, House is fouled, baseline. And a timeout, 11:56. Duke in a battle with Belmont. The 15th seed against number 2 in the West. We'll be back on CBS.
Gumbel, Clark, Kellogg, Seth Davis in New York. We'll get you back to Washington in just a moment. Let's pay a visit first to Omaha, where Kansas State is taking on USC. This is a one-point game, and there is Mr. Beasley returning to the game.
Yeah, he picked up 2 fouls in the first 4.5 minutes, Greg. So Frank Martin taking a chance here to get Beasley back on the floor, feeling like he needs his presence out there offensively.
And he picked up that second foul because he got frustrated when USC put a box-and-1 on him. USC has already put in 3 defenses. They've had some zone. They've had a box-and-1. He needs to really get a hold of his emotions because that is clearly going to be Tim Floyd's strategy to come up with whatever junk defense he can to frustrate him.
What do you think about bringing him back in, especially when Kansas State has been able to hang without him?
Yeah, that's a tough call. I think it's a little bit of a risk, but he's expecting Beasley as his team's best player to be able to play with 2 fouls and be effective and be smart. But it is a significant risk. I don't know if I would take it, Greg, under these circumstances. Todd Gibson doing work inside. Early on, Kansas State has been winning the loose ball battle.
Meanwhile, in Denver, number 13th seed Winthrop is taking on the Cougars of Washington State. What do we look for in this game?
These teams are very similar. Both really pride themselves on playing good, sticky, tough defense. I think Washington State has more experience and has more balance offensively, and that's why I give Washington State the edge.
First 1 to 60 wins. Both these teams are ranked in the top 10 nationally in scoring defense. Remember now, Winthrop returned 3 starters from the team that won a first-round game last year, so they do bring some NCAA tournament experience to this game.
But they struggle to score the ball. They only shoot 43% from the floor as a team. If Michael Jenkins doesn't get it going in a big way, Winthrop will struggle to score.
All right, guys, let's keep tabs on all of these games for you, but let's get you back to Washington. West Region play between Belmont and Duke. We rejoin Craig Bolerjack and Bob Winslow.
11:25 left to play, opening half here. Our night session underway in Washington, D.C. Duke and Belmont. Belmont the 15th seed and Duke number 2 and a jump ball.
I love the way Belmont is playing. They're not trying to hold the basketball. They're running their stuff. They're very aggressive defensively. They're not sure who they're playing. It doesn't matter to them who they're playing. Very, very good preparation by Rick Byrd coming in here.
Bob, again, you look at the way they finished the season, 13 straight wins. You see a lot of confidence. They're not standing in awe. They're playing their game. House, that ball's loose. Quick hands of Duke. Paulus on the breakaway, gives it up. Alley-oop, my goodness. How about that athleticism of Henderson?
Henderson in his senior year playing the best he has played. All defense, the defensive player of the year in the ACC.
Dotson backs in, turnaround jump shot, good. That's a nice looking shot. Dotson was 7 in the half.
He is a player, only averages 9 a game on the year. 6'8", 220 from Centerville, Tennessee.
Dotson averages 11 points a game, already was 7. Offensive rebound, Duke. And they clear it out. To Paulus to reset with 30 on the shot as we head up to nearly halfway through this opening half. Paulus inside the three-point line, long jump shot. Another offensive rebound for Duke. And a second chance again. Duke runs along that baseline and clears it out again to Paulus.
Very aggressive defense by Belmont. Impressive. Much more athletic than I thought.
Nelson slips it outside. Singler for 3. The other way. Oh, yes! Are you kidding me? Andy Wick.
He takes over 200 threes by himself on the year.
22-20 Duke. Nelson left to right hand, offensive foul. And how about the D on the other end by Wick, who just knocked it down from downtown.
The handle, step in front. Not so sure about that one, but a good play by Wick. Right now, the crowd is about, the neutral observers are about to go to the Cinderella, as we see so often in the NCAA tournament.
That's a great point. West Virginia, Arizona plays later tonight, and that crowd is just arriving going, oh my, what's happening here? Campbell hung up on the wing, looks for help. Shot clock down to 10. Turnaround jumper from the corner, no. Zubik the rebound. Duke will push. Back out, good look, Paulus. Short on that jump shot, it's batted back out. Paulus again, and a fresh 35.
Good save by Zubik there.
Bad pass over the top. Zubik couldn't reach up. Belmont. The shot. Patience. Henry Harris. Spread them out. Go off the dribble. Tied at 22. 8.5 to play first half. Shire for Duke on the wing. Looks inside. Thought about the three. Dumps it down. Big fella. Zubik. Tied up. Singler inside. That's a nice giveaway. And Zubik was in trouble, Bob.
Unnecessary to double team Zubik. Belmont's better off playing him one man. See if they can do it that way. As soon as you double him, someone's going to be open. He'll find him.
7 points now by Singler. As Jordan Campbell backs it out. That ball is stolen away. Again, the quick hands of Duke. Breakaway. Nelson. Up and in.
Credit Shire on the overplay. Hooked that ball away. Created the space.
4-0 run by Duke. It breaks a 22 all tie. Another three on the way. Yes! Campbell! 29 attempts a ball game. This is nothing new for the Bruins of Belmont.
They shoot 36% on those 29 shots. That is a weapon.
26-25, the Blue Devils. Head up on 7 minutes to play, first half. Shire puts it on the floor, free throw line jumper. That ball kicks out. Here comes Belmont. Dansby. Belmont, Bob, making 6 of their last 7 from the floor. And a foul whistled. DeMarcus Nelson, his first, second team foul on Duke. And the threes are dropping. Campbell and Belmont down. Back in Washington, D.C. and Bob Wenzel, we talked about three-point shooting, and that holds true thus far. A combined 6 of 13 put up between Belmont and Duke.
I'll tell you what, both of them are even, obviously, in the scoring here, even in the turnovers. Duke has a few more steals. I'll tell you what, Belmont is an unbelievably quicker team than I thought they were, and Duke is trying to pressure them, and they have the antidote. Number 1, the backdoor play, which they've executed several times. Number 2, put it on the floor and go by and go right into the lane and square up and shoot. And that's what they have been doing. Renfro, especially with the basketball, very, very quick. Duke should play a little less pressure and stay between their man and the basket.
Renfro goes right to left hand, drives on Zubik. The 7-footer gets a hand up on it. Back out front. In three-point land, Campbell dribbles, leaves it out. Baseline floater off the rim. Ricochets off. Who's got it? Belmont, second chance point and a foul. Going the other way.
Right there, Taylor King was in the right place at the right time, or Shire, one or the other. They both jumped in front to try to take that charge. And Shire is going to go to the free throw line.
And Belcher picks up his first foul. As a team, Duke shooting 69%. Shire at 88 on the season. Shire's made 28 of his last 29, make that 29 of 30. And coming up on AT&T at the half, Greg Gumbel, Clark Kellogg, Seth Davis will take you out for a live look at all the action going on in the NCAA tournament. And of course, they will keep you updated on all the latest tournament news, plus an AT&T Naismith watch update. That's all coming up on AT&T at the half.
Rick Bird's done a great job of preparing his team for Duke's pressure. Notice how far spread out they are. Nobody in the post. Spread the floor, use the dribble.
Renfro kicks it out. Wick, good look. Another three. Down she goes. Wick with 6.
What form?
28.
What form? Perfect. Textbook form by Andy Wick.
He's thinking about dental school after basketball. He may want to put on his own video on how to shoot threes.
I'll tell you what, you better not help off him at all. Duke would be better off staying at home, playing a little softer instead of pressuring and having to help.
Off the glass, Shire used it all.
Shire has the rep as a shooter, but he's more of a scorer in my opinion.
In transition, Belmont, another 3 on the way. Ball kicks high off the rim, and the biggest man on the floor with the rebound. Zubik hands it off smartly to Shire. Under 5.5 to play first half. Shire dumps it down low. Zubik blocked from behind. Belmont coming the other way. Great defensive effort by Campbell. In and out. Dansby. I think everybody in this house thought that was down. Foul underneath on the drive by Shire.
Duke is trying to take advantage of their size, but their percentage on getting the ball in here and positive things happening is low. A terrific block right there by Belmont. Zubik has not played a lot of minutes this year. And because of the size differential, you think that he might dominate in a game like this, but it hasn't happened so far.
Shire back to the line after dropping his first 2. That's 3 for 3 tonight.
Well, Singler's in right now for Zubik, and he's a much more terrific offensive player. Zubik giving them some valuable minutes right here, but he's not the type of guy in their system that you can really go to.
8 points for Shire. Off the bench, averages just under 12 points a ball game. As we hit the 5-minute mark, 4-point game. Duke 32, Belmont 28. Oh, how about the pass?
The second one of the evening, my friend.
Peoples the assist. And the reach in.
The antidote to pressure is the backdoor play. This is the second one of the first half. Executed beautifully. Wick gets the pass and scores underneath. Nice pass by Peoples. Is gambling that their pressure will cause more turnovers and runouts than there will be backdoors against them.
Once again, Shire at the line. And having his way thus far in the first half. CBSSports.com covers every minute of the madness. Get expert analysis, watch highlights and buzzer beaters, plus live scoring and stats for every game, all at CBSSports.com. Shire in double figures here in the first half with 10 to lead Duke. Andy Wick with 8 to lead Belmont. 4:40 to play again.
Third backdoor.
Oh, it rolls out.
How did that not go down?
Well, Justin Harrell wants to know as well.
He is wide open right here, and I don't think he's missed one like this in his career.
And then Bob, in frustration, reached up to try to tip it in, and Hare picks up number 3.
And it's interesting because he's their lead player, first team all-conference in the Atlantic Sun. Hasn't done a lot in this game, and they're playing well without his huge contribution. He's going to have to come out now.
Paulus 84%, rolls off. Hare, by the way, 1 of 3 shooting. And out he goes with his 3rd personal.
And Renfro is in, and Renfro's played very well in this game so far. He can match the Duke quickness.
One more. Paulus makes 1 of 2. 4-point first half. 35-30 Duke. Renfro works the wing. Hangs on a pivot, needs help, and finds it. Peoples. Plenty of time. 21 on the shot clock. And a hold. Is that on Shire? It is. Shire picks up his first. Belmont will inbound. Peoples, Renfro. Another three on the way from the corner. How about the sharp shooting of Andy Wick? 3 threes in the first half.
And they have been deep, the kind you measure. Dansby, their second leading scorer, number 2, has been conspicuously absent from the offense in this one.
Belmont dropping 5 of 10 from behind the arc. Rolling in for 2, and that's a strong move by Singler. Singler struggled in the ACC tournament, only hit 3 of 13 shots. And here in the first half has bounced back with 9 points. And a timeout, 3:37 to play. Back and forth we go. Duke by 4. Greg Bullerjack, Bob Wenzel, our CBS crew back in Washington, D.C. Belmont all about the 3 so far here in the first half.
Yeah, Andy Wick has been measuring them. This one from almost out of bounds. The pump fake gets him open, and if you give him space, it's down. They have made 5 threes in this game. Duke only 3, but the Blue Devils' pressure has been helpful to them. They've got 8 fast break baskets. Andy Wick has taken 210 threes on the season. And he's also a good defensive player.
Bob, the difference thus far in this first half, free throw line shooting, 8 of 11 for Duke. Belmont's 2 for 2. Duke has penetrated, of course, and gone to the line. It's all about the outside shot for Belmont. Duck down, nicely done. House off the glass. That ball bounces out. Thomas rebounds for Duke. Little runner off paint. And a turnover. Great eyes, Bob Wenzel.
Belmont won at Cincinnati. Belmont won at Alabama. Now, Cincinnati and Alabama aren't as good as Duke, I'll give you that. But I'll tell you what, they've been in games with superior athletes, and they can match up.
And let me remind you, 3rd straight NCAA tournament. This is not wide-eyed basketball. Belmont's been here before. It goes off the hands of House. So the turnovers now, 9 for Belmont committed, 8 giveaways by Duke in the first half. 4-point ball game under 3 minutes to play. Duke with possession. Cutting through is Nelson. Paulus back out front. Around the screen.
Lots of switching going on, but you can't switch and nail a guy with your forearms. Paulus will get his chance to go to the free throw line, where he is normally very, very accurate.
House picks up his first. Good look at Rick Byrd in his 22nd year. Went from NAIA, Bob, to Division I back in 1996. That's a tough transition. Now think that you're in your 3rd straight NCAA tournament. Yeah. Amazing. Paulus. Well, Monday, the madness continues in an all-new episode of TV's #1 comedy, 2.5 Men, at 9, 8 Central, only on CBS. Makes the first, and misses the second. House with the rebound.
Yeah, leaning back on his heels a little bit there. Very unusual for Paulus.
5-point game for Duke. Wick inside. How about the assist and a blocking foul counted? A 3-point opportunity on the way for Campbell.
The 4th backdoor by the Belmont team. Check this pass out. Fake one way, go the other. And of course, a little late right there. They are executing beautifully. When you have the threat, Craig, of the 3-point shot, and you're as aggressive as Duke is, you want to be out there on them. And of course, that's what happens. The backdoor becomes available, but really, you still have to execute it. And they've done it well.
Last touched off the miss. Campbell tried to follow up his own missed free throw. Duke with possession, 2:31 to play. Bob, you were so right. 5 or 6 possessions of outside shots sets up Duke for the backdoor play.
Yeah, and if you're playing in the lanes between the passer and your man, the cut to the basket much more available. If you stay between your man and the basket, there is no cut. That's going to be on Renfro. He's grabbing Paulus on the cut through.
Renfro picks up his first.
Talking to Rick Byrd yesterday, it was nice when he came over at their practice, and he was talking about the fact that, you know, it would be great if they didn't have to have a 15 seed, you know, that if they could get into the tournament sometime and have a 13 or a 12 seed. You know, the last 2 years they played Georgetown, a Final Four team, and UCLA, a Final Four team. Now they're playing Duke in the first round, basketball royalty, and they are according themselves very, very well here.
As you mentioned, though, they've held up with non-conference road wins at Cincy, at Alabama. 2 for 2 for Paulus. I'll tell you, that's been the big difference here in the first half. Free throw shooting.
Belmont has to hold on right here in the last 2 minutes of this game and not let the game get away from them at this juncture.
Badly missed. Dotson, who dropped down 7 early.
That's his first missed shot so far in this game.
Big defensive stand right here. If you can stop Duke and get 2 on the other end, it's a 3-point game. 40-35, Blue Devils. Paulus. Shot clock to 13. That ball is loose. Duke recovers. Shot clock to 7. Patient. Baseline jumper. Off the mark. Rebound. Loose ball. And Belmont has it.
I think that was less patient than it was reticent. Guys not looking to take the shot. 3 guys passed up easy ones.
Campbell hands to Wick. From the corner. 4 to 3. It's a quick shot again. Dotson. Back-to-back misses and timeout. It's timeout Duke. Blue Devils with the timeout, up by 5 on Rick Byrd and his Belmont Bruins hanging tough with Mike Krzyzewski and Duke. 15 seeds defeating 2s, 91. Richmond defeated Syracuse, Santa Clara over Arizona in 93, Coppin State over South Carolina, Bob, in 97. And you and I were in Boise to watch Hampton knock off Iowa State.
That was something. That was an unbelievable day. And of course, Steve Nash was on that Santa Clara team. That was the 15 that beat the 2.
Duke will get a second opportunity off that miss. Out front is Paulus. Shire worked hard and hit the deck, dusted the floor a little bit here in Washington. Paulus deep off the rim. How about that rebound by House? Reaching up big. Takes it across the timeline all by himself. 37 seconds to play, 28 on the shot clock. Belmont down by 5. Peoples. House dribbles down on the low block and a foul. That ball was fed into Dansby.
Well, Dansby's been invisible, and he's the second leading scorer on this team. Paulus draws the foul on that one. Dansby will have his chance. Makes 2/3 of his free throws. He's a transfer from Murray State, played there, and then came here. 6'4", 210. Pretty good numbers on the season, but invisible in this one.
That ball rims out. House works hard, gets the rebound, then take it away. Gerald Henderson, big play just before the halftime break.
Duke will also have the ball to start the second half if they run this all the way down. So if they play well, they can score here, score to start the second half, and create some space for themselves.
King is on the floor, turns, fall away, lefty, good! Jumped off the bench and hit the J to end the first half. 42-35, Duke over Belmont. Intimidated by mighty Duke. You surprised it's a 7-point ball game at the half?
I am surprised. They've been here 2 years in a row, and they played UCLA and Georgetown. That's why they're not intimidated. Let me show you what a shot chart is. Okay, from deep, the X's are the misses, the balls are the makes. And of course, Duke only made 3 from downtown. And on the other hand, the Bruins, not the UCLA Bruins, the Belmont Bruins made 5 from out there. So they are +6 from long range. Unfortunately for them, they are -9 from the free throw line. 11-2 in that category.
As we look at the game, in-game box score powered by CBS Sports College Network, the 24-hour college sports channel from CBS Sports. You see Wick leading the way with 11 for Belmont, and very even Duke has gotten big buckets from just about everyone. How about Taylor King knocking down the two-point shot just before the end of the first half?
Yeah, and Shire and Singler have been the leading scorers. Wick, if we can say, has been on fire from deep.
Another offensive rebound, 2 more for Duke. So they score at the end of the half and start the second half with a putback on the offensive end by Henderson.
Belmont has got to play the way they played in the first half and not worry about what the score is right now. Just play the way you've been playing. Don't get too careful.
Oh, jump hook. Put that on the board by Dotson. Hot start in the first half, cooled down a bit. Singler the other way, 1 and 3. Everybody crashing the boards. Duke with another chance. Tough shot off the glass and a whistle underneath. Marcus Nelson.
How about Matthew Dotson, huh? The hook in the lane, the jump hook variety. That's hard to block. He started the game off with a 3, and he started this half off very well for the Bruins as well.
Bob on the other end. Nelson picks up his 3rd foul, offensive foul. And what we're seeing here is Belmont's known for the 3-point shooting. They're mixing in a few back doors. They're missing in a jump hook or 2. And that's throwing Duke off just enough to make this game close.
Well, Duke doing a lot of switching right now and a mismatch inside. Paulus gets caught on Dansby. Has to whack him. And that's one of the things when you switch, you can get mismatches. A lot of teams don't take advantage of that. And right there, Rick Byrd's team did.
Paulus whistle for his 2nd foul. And on the inbound, it's Renfro inside. Easy 2. Dotson. How about that inbound?
Execution, my friend. Duke switch. They roll to the basket. Everybody aware. The passer, the screener, and the cutter.
5-point ball game.
That is a thing of beauty. Let me tell you something. Rick Byrd knows how to coach offense.
Singler gives it away. Paulus deep. Got it for 3.
He's great fading to the left. You know how you like guys to go straight up and down in one spot? Paulus' favorite shot fading to his left.
17 straight games with a 3-point shot. He's made 7 of his last 13 from behind the arc.
He is a tough customer.
Dansby swings it out front. Renfro on the dribble, the drive, dumps down inside, loose ball, and is kicked back out. Peoples, the floater. Oh, he'd like to have that shot back as it rims out to Duke. Paulus on the run, the quick hands nearly took it away. Renfro's been everywhere. Inside, overshoot it. Lance Thomas was dead on. Quick release. And a good look by Andy Wick. What a rough and rugged start of the second half. They are battling hard. Number 15 seed against the number 2, and a good coaching matchup. Mike Krzyzewski, 28 seasons with Duke, and of course Rick Byrd, 22 years. And what's interesting, again, going back to his history, NAIA Belmont Bruins to the Division I Belmont Bruins in '96.
Over 1,200 wins among these 2 stellar coaches. Mike Krzyzewski, certainly not himself. I've been watching him over on the sidelines there. He's had a bout with the flu. He looks very pale. Not up and animated as he usually is.
Tough shot, muscling in as Henderson. 2 buckets here in the second half. And quickly, Belmont pushes, hangs it up high, count it. Renfro in transition. He is the speed dribbler.
If you're going to break down pressure, you do it with speed and handling. Notice how he protects the ball, keeping it way away from the defender. This guy has game, and it's important as we go deeper into this game that they keep the quickness off the dribble available to combat the pressure of Duke.
Singler picks up his 3rd. Missed shot, falls out. Henderson breaks away for Duke. Leaves it. Singler steps inside the 3-point line, and bang! Down she goes. Singler in double digits with 11.
Singler went through a time where he hadn't played as well as he did early. Nice cut.
Boy, Renfro back-to-back buckets, and Belmont answers every time Duke looks like they're going to start breaking away. 51-43 Blue Devils.
They really have great poise, don't they? You would expect them to crumble under this kind of pressure, but certainly not.
Whistle on the low block.
The basket area clear, and when it is, it's available for cuts. No big guys there to help. Pointing to his teammate. Hare back in the game. Frequent substitutions keep fresh legs. That's what Rick Byrd is doing in this one.
In comes Henry Harris. Out goes Andy Wick, who just picked up his 3rd foul for Belmont. Well, here in Washington, the West Region, Duke, number 2 seed against the 15th seed Belmont Bruins. 51-43 Duke with the basketball. Belmont has been battling from the start, knocking down threes. And there's a turnover forced, and it's picked up. Out of the pack comes Harris, who just checked in.
Belmont has combated Duke's pressure with 3-point shooting, and when the pressure comes, 4 backdoors in the first half.
10 turnovers committed by Duke. Blue Devils fly in for the miss. DeMarcus Nelson out on the wing. Looks inside, straight away. Henderson. That ball kicks off the side of the iron, out of bounds. Belmont will have possession with 15:48 to play. And a timeout. Duke 51, Belmont 43 on CBS.
With that in mind, you think they're getting Coke Zero over on Belmont's bench right now? They are the underdog, and they're believing, believe me. They've used about 12 guys in this game, and each guy who comes in has absolutely no fear of playing. John House is one of them. And they are playing against basketball royalty right here. The pressure of Duke not bothering them. Dead even in most statistical categories. Duke up at the free throw line.
Nice lob inside, reverse it up and in.
Backdoor number 5. The Belmont Bruins.
First bucket for Keaton Belcher, sophomore, Butler, Kentucky. And back in, Justin Hare with 3 fouls. That ball is loose. Paulus tries to dig it out. Who touched it last? And Duke will have it. 24 on the shot clock.
Duke continues to pressure, and the Bruins continue to go backdoor when they're guarded that way. The nice left-handed play right here. Execution. Keaton Belcher gets the bucket.
Singler on the inbound. Really lost the dribble out front. Paulus will reset. Boy, he's guarded a blanket by Henry Harris. 15 on the shot clock.
Boy, Harris has some quick feet, huh? Woo.
Now John Shire. Picked up by Hare. There's a jump shot way short. Rebound. And what do you know? Belcher. He'll bring it across midcourt.
He's looking for help right here. Singler not pressuring him.
Straight away. Hare with the left hand. House. I thought he was going to bring down the House. Wanted to pull the trigger on that 3-point shot. Backs it out.
Bird directing traffic.
House now drives in on the big fella. Count it! And a foul on Zubik.
Credit Rick Byrd for that basket. They were getting ready to run their stuff, and he yelled out from the sideline, take him on the dribble. He knew House could get past the slower Zubik. That is a nice piece of coaching by Rick Byrd right there.
First bucket for House, 4 points after a pair of free throws in the first half. And Bob Wenzel, a free throw here, cuts the Duke lead to 3. Rims out, and the rebound goes to Duke. So it stays at 4, 51-47, as we roll up on 14 minutes left to play. Third game of 4 here in the West region. In Washington, D.C., and a hold is whistled on Harris. Henry Harris is first.
Watch Rick Byrd saying, clear out, take him off the dribble. He sees a 7-footer on his man. House listens, does what his coach says, and one.
Oh, that's a great look.
This guy knows what he's doing, man. I am telling you, lots of experience, 22 years.
Block. Hare comes out of the pack. Pulls up, wants 3. Got it! Can you believe that? .51-50.
Duke cannot find offense.
Stolen away. Belmont can take the lead. 3 on the way. the crowd lets out a sigh. Oh, the tension in this building.
Krzyzewski up now, getting what he wants right here on this play. Henderson has been absent. Very few touches in the second half for their most athletic guy.
Zubik fires out. Henderson, 3. Yes!
There it is. Nice play by Krzyzewski on that one. Set that up. Henderson's been absent. Got to run something for him.
Double digits now for Gerald Henderson, 11. Back we come. Belmont, no. Duke rebounds. It's Henderson. Runs it across midcourt. That ball was tipped, caught, dropped down low. Zubik for 2. Boy, on a busted play, that's how good Duke can be.
Fortunately, Zubik really ran the floor well there.
Inside and a foul. Zubik will pick up the personal.
How about the D right here by Belmont? And the rush to the other end of the floor. Justin Hare, pull up in transition. Nothing but bottom, and Vince Gill is singing their praises. Henderson, Zubik, the fumble play, it's good.
12:55 to play here in Washington, D.C. West Region battle between the number 2 seed Duke against 15th seed Belmont, the Bruins from Nashville. And oh, what a game from the start. Belmont not intimidated by mighty Duke.
They came out shooting threes in the first half, made 5. When Duke pressured them, they went back door. They've been executing beautifully. Duke, of course, trying to find some offense at their end. Mike Krzyzewski with the flu in this one. Gerald Henderson has got to get more involved in this game.
Peoples hits the 2 free throws. Out he goes. Back comes Matthew Dotson. 11 points. And Wick with 11 to lead Belmont. Under 13 minutes to play. 56-52 Duke. Blue Devils with the basketball. Nice feed inside Paulus and a reach-in foul. And that will be on Wick, his 4th.
Well, Duke running sets right now, not so much freelance. They haven't done well with their freelance game as much. Krzyzewski now calling plays from the sideline. 4 personal fouls. This is a dilemma. Wick is their best 3-point shooter. I think Nelson and Henderson have to get much more involved.
And a bump as Nelson lowered the shoulder and tried to drive in on Dansby. And Shane Dansby picks up foul number 2. Now remember, in the first half, Bob, free throws the big story. That was a separator for Duke.
They had 11, and Rick Bird's team only 2. Makes.
Paulus out front. Shire. Duke showing patience. Now Nelson on the dribble drive baseline. Puts up a circus shot. Rebound and cleared. Oh, a strong bucket or a rebound by Dotson. Pump fire. 3-point shot. This time won't go down for Hare.
McClure defended well. He realized Hare was going to shoot it in transition.
Rushed it a bit. The trailer pull-up jumper. No. Out of bounds. And Belmont with possession.
Smith, 2 off balance. That is a tough shot, the floater, when you're going full speed ahead.
12:05 to play. This crowd has been treated. What a battle. 15 against number 2.
4 times in history have the 15 beat the 2. Is this going to be one of them?
Nolan Smith the foul. Timeout. 4 pointers. Higher seeds are 8-0 today, Bob. SEC teams go down 0-2. Kentucky, Georgia out. Kentucky loses in the first round, by the way, for the first time since back in '87. And all 8 games have been decided by 8 or more points.
Well, I don't think this one might be that way, huh?
It's not headed that way. It's a 4-point ball game with 11:57 to play. On the inbound, Belmont really toss it away. They save it. No, they do not. Duke runs away. That sequence sloppy. Smith out front for Duke. On the drop down, Singler. Oh, that ball stolen away. Put it down around his hip pocket. And out of the pack comes Henry Harris.
Henry is very quick.
Wide open. Dotson. Yes! Can you believe this? 56-55. And Belmont will not go away.
They have a great combination of three-point shooters and pressured defenders. Harris and Renfro are very, very quick.
Rimming out, quick shot by Shire. Has yet to score here in the second half. Belmont can take the lead. Yes! Count it! And a foul shot to come.
You talk about quickness. We mentioned Harris and Renfro. They have been the difference makers here. The steal by Harris. And of course, going the other way, Renfro. Watch this acceleration. He goes by everybody in the white jerseys. Nice read by Renfro. Takes it to the glass, use the backboard, solid fundamentals. These guys are good.
3-point opportunity up for Renfro, and double figures make it 11. First lead since Belmont was up 7-5 in the first half. 58-56. What a game. It's still
a breather.
Just under 11 minutes to play.
I like the way Bird substitutes when guys give their all, takes them out for a short period of time, gets them back in. Belmont's doing this without their two signature players, Hare and Dansby, having great games.
Three-point shot would not drop. Backside rebound, and here comes Justin Hare. Saddled with 3 fouls, has not been able to pull the trigger often. A steal by Duke. 3-on-1 break for the Blue Devils. All the way, and the layup dropped down by Henderson.
Wise decision by their most athletic guy. Switched it to his left to avoid the charge.
58 all as we head up on 10 minutes to play. They're able to save that dribble out to Campbell. Will back it out straight away. 20 on the shot clock.
This is the juncture of the game right now where guys get tired. They've been playing 3/4 of the game, the 10-minute mark. Sometimes the legs get a little heavy.
Shot clock down to 6. Jump shot in and out. Good look by Hare, and across midcourt comes Singler. 11 points for the freshman from Medford, Oregon. Fires it out, 3-point land. Nobody wants to take it. This time Henderson dials. Backside rebound, Nelson up and overshoots. Rebound clears quickly. Dotson. Into the front court is Henry Harris. .40, 58 all here in Washington, D.C. as we are heading up on 9 minutes to play. Belmont battling Duke from the start, and they're not letting up. Another 3 on the way from the corner. No. Nearly stolen, out of bounds. Who touched it last?
Hustle pays off. The Bruins from the East Coast. Not those UCLA Bruins, but the Belmont Bruins from the Atlantic Sun. Vince Gill is happy.
5 ties, 4 lead changes, and the largest lead for Duke, 10. At one point, 7 at the half, and Belmont battling 58 all. Now, the last time a 15 beat a 2, you and I were in Boise. Hampton knocked off Iowa State. Has happened 4 other times. And 0-1 was the last time Boise, Idaho.
And Steve Nash was on that Santa Clara one that you saw there. Is there a future star among these guys? Right now, the energy level for Belmont has been much higher in the last 3 minutes. The timeout, I think, is going to help too.
Renfro trying to lob it down low off the hands of Dansby. And last touched by Duke. 13 on the shot clock.
They executed a perfect out-of-bounds play the last time in this situation and got a layup.
Renfro looks for a cutter. Finds his man, Dansby. 11 on the shot clock, clears it out. Renfro, quick, hangs it up, ricochets off the glass. Here comes Duke on the other way. Shire. Hollis squares up, good look, shot, bang for 2.
He loves going left. The drifting left shot is his favorite. Tuned it up there.
Hollis, 12 points. Duke by 2. Closing in on 8 minutes to play. John House, a freshman, Ontario, Canada. Backs it out straight away.
You don't need a lot of denial here if you're Duke. Stay between your man and the basket. Make them shoot over you.
Belcher hands it off to Renfro. Energizer tonight, 11 points as a starter. 4 down on the shot clock, down to 2. Jumper won't go. Rebound. Out of bounds.
That's the kind of defense I think Duke should be playing the rest of the way. Forget about denial and pressure. Stay between your man and the basket.
Can Belmont hang with Duke? Stay with us. 7:48 to play on
Kansas State and USC. Kansas State continuing to hold on despite a late charge by USC. Stewart with the 3 there. It's a 57-53 lead for the Wildcats. Let's get you back.
Well, Mike Krzyzewski's been in tough spots before. Duke with a 2-point lead. The number 2 seed in the West taking on Belmont. 15th seed out of Nashville. Have never been eliminated in first round in consecutive seasons.
And of course they lost last year to VCU on Eric Maynor's shot at the buzzer.
Shire on the wing to Henderson. Well, look at the battle on that low block. Singler wants that ball denied. 18 on the shot, 7:30 to play. Good defense by Belmont, forcing Duke out. With 8 on the shot clock to 7, down to 6. It's trimmed down to 4. Henderson kicks it out in the corner. Long shot. Oh, it is good.
Fouled. Oh, my goodness. What concentration by Shire. He stayed with that shot as well as you can stay with a shot.
Hare picks up his 4th, and the clock was nearly dry.
Hare ran right at him. It touches every bit of the iron and trickles through. Great play by Shire.
13 for the sophomore from Northbrook, Illinois. That ball falls off the rim loose. And here comes Belmont. 7:07 to play. 5-point Duke lead.
How did he make that 3 and get fouled and then miss the free throw? Man.
Shot clock to 16. Hare, patience by Belmont, looking for the perfect opportunity to drive it up and in. Renfro with a 13-point game. 9 here in the second half.
He is so quick. Marcus Nelson's the ACC Defensive Player of the Year. He went by him like he was standing in cement.
And a travel. Nelson whistle for the turnover.
How about this as your new favorite player, Mr. Renfro? Wow. Quickness. This guy has an engine.
15 games now at double figures. Boy, he can shoot the ball. High percentage player at 52%.
He was an NAIA player at Trevecca Nazarene.
Well, he's playing big time Division I right now.
As big as it gets. Silly foul.
Singler took the feet out of Justin Hare, and that's 4 on Kyle Singler.
Good try, obviously, given his best effort, but I doubt he'll sit out long. 91%, Mr. Hare, from the free throw line for the year. Money.
6-point ball game for Hare as Mike Krzyzewski looks on. And this young man is headed to medical school after graduation, a 3.87 GPA. I'd have him work on me.
He pays attention to detail. That's what you want.
Drops down 2. 6:07 to play. Duke by 1. And near the end of tonight's game, we will select a Chevrolet player of the game from each team to honor their determination and outstanding play. And Chivy will make a $1,000 contribution to each University General Scholarship Fund. Chivy, an American Revolution. Ball is out front. A bunt, no foul. Oh, hit from behind, picked up.
Harris and Renfro are quick and quicker and quickest.
Shire. Shot clock to 8. Belmont continues to extend the defense. Nelson winds it up for 3. Short. Henderson, fresh clock. Ball is stripped and a foul.
That's where Henderson needs to go. Use your athleticism close to the basket. Duke got spread out. They were fortunate. This was a long rebound. Credit Henderson with hustle on the boards.
Peoples will pick up his 3rd.
This is where conditioning comes in, Craig. Fatigue is in everyone. And you just got to fight through it.
Henderson drops it. 14-point game.
Bird is doing a marvelous job of substituting his players, trying to keep them fresh as we wind down. 5 minutes to go. This has been a very physically demanding game for both teams.
One more for Henderson. You notice he has a wrist brace on his shooting hand. Injured that right wrist against North Carolina on the road February 6th. And that wrist continues to push back on him, so that brace keeps his hand from falling back. Hasn't hurt his shot tonight with 14 points. In Washington, D.C., West Region, 5:06 to play. And what a game. Duke, the 2 seed against number 15, Belmont. Down the stretch, Duke by 3, make it 1. What a shot again by Renfro.
Superstar in the making, Alex Renfro. The transfer from NAIA Trevecca Nazarene is slicing and dicing the Dukies.
Duke 65, Belmont 64. As you look at the numbers tonight, field goal percentage, Belmont is not cool from the start. 48% shooting, and Bob, they've knocked down 7 of 20 from behind the arc. The discrepancy, which has closed a bit, the free throw shooting.
Well, this is sponsored by Old Spice, and I can tell you, they are sweating out there. And the Duke fans are sweating as well. What a game.
Under 5 minutes to play, Henderson swings it up and hits. Big shot. Henderson, 16 points. That wrist is just fine, no problem.
Gerald, use your athleticism. Nelson's got to stay in front of Renfro. Try not to be way up on him.
Shot clock to 18. Left-hand dribble, stop and go. Put it up, rims out, loose ball. Duke hustles in the corner, and it's saved. Oh, what a play by Paulus in crunch time.
Boy, does that guy have some guts, huh?
4 minutes on the clock. 67-64. The Blue Devils of Duke, the ACC, taking on the Atlantic Sun Conference. Well, Belmont's defense has been difficult to penetrate. Also tough on the perimeter. Paulus looks inside, that ball's batted down. Great play once again. Matthew Dotson, 3-ball, no. Henderson trying to win this game by himself.
He is exerting his influence right now.
He looks winded. He's really struggling to get back across midcourt.
So does Paulus. All the Duke guys look like they have heavy legs right now. Mike has not substituted as much as Rick Bird has.
Nelson hands off to Paulus at midcourt. 16 on the shot clock.
Fatigue clouds your judgment.
Belmont has forced Duke to really work that shot clock down. It's to 7. The shot is away. Rimming out. Loose ball. Belmont. Renfro runs it across. He still has plenty of legs. The trailer on the way. No. Boy, what a great look.
Opportunity. 3-on-2.
Paulus for 3. No. .244 to go. It's buckle up time. 2:44 to play. Duke with a 3-point lead on Belmont. And Coach K with a fever, and he's sweating a little harder tonight. As you look at the reset, timeouts, Belmont with 4, Duke with 2 remaining, and possession arrow pointing to the Bruins. And at the line to shoot free throws, Henry Harris.
He has been a defensive ace in this game.
First point of the second half. A hometown boy, by the way, Nashville, Tennessee, Stratford High School. Henry Harris, a junior. Made 1 of 2, trying to chase down the miss, and Henderson covers up. And then there's a hold on a whistle, and Harris picks up number 2.
Harris was to the rebound almost before the ball hit the rim. He's so quick. Not a good foul situation right here for Belmont. Rick Byrd has done a masterful job of preparing his team for Duke's pressure. They have had lots of backdoor plays. They've used the dribble to their advantage against the pressure, and they have shot well from 3 against the pressure, and they have shot well from 3-point range. Wick, the best shooter on the team with 4 fouls. Hare, their most outstanding player, with 4 as well. Singler and Nelson, mainstays for Duke, with 4.
Well, Henderson will shoot 1 and 1, a 65% shooter, Bob, on the season. And drops the first at 17. Once again, we'll select a Chevy player of the game from each team, and to honor their determination and outstanding play, Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. Chevy, an American revolution. And there's that wrist I spoke of, and the brace that he has worn since mid-February has not disturbed his game at all tonight.
No, it really hasn't prevented his wrist from going all the way back. And that's the positive thing about that type of a brace. Doesn't affect your shooting.
19 for Henderson. 3 on the way. Got it! Oh, how big is Wick? First bucket of the second half. (69-68) from the corner. That ball's hard off the iron. Duke giving chase defensively, and a foul.
If you don't put somebody on Andy Wick, he'll make it from the bench. The quick release. No doubt in that young man's mind. Or his teammates. Chance to go ahead for a 91% free throw shooter.
Tonight, 2 for 2. Justin Harris saddled with foul trouble throughout this game. Held at just 2 points, Bob, in the first half. Looking for his 8th point of the night. Pushes it up and hits. 69 all. 2:02 on the clock. And a substitution. Wick goes out, and Peoples in for Belmont.
Wick is not going to play defense because Rick Byrd wants him in there at the offensive end, and he's got 4 fouls.
Belmont by 1. Can it be? The look of Mike Krzyzewski. 70-69. Big possession for the Blue Devils. On the dribble, the drive. Paulus hangs it up. No, off the rim. Oh, this building is ready to explode. You've got West Virginia, Arizona fans on hand, and you know who they're pulling for. Timeout, 1:40 to play. Belmont on top of Duke. Belmont with a 1-point lead, and Bob fueled by the play of Alex Renfro.
Well, they've all been good, but Alex Renfro is the guy who they needed the most. The quickest guy on the floor, has been able to break down Duke's defense with the dribble, and he's going past some of the top defensive players in the ACC. What a great game by Alex Renfro.
So here we go, 1:37 clock running. Renfro trying to break down DeMarcus Nelson. 1:30 on the clock, 18 on the shot. Justin Hare, patience by Belmont. Left-hand dribble. Campbell tries the baseline, clears it away. Patience once again. The Bruins on the drive with 7. Shot clock to 5. Shot clock to 4. That ball is tipped free. And Duke comes out of the pack. Paulus.
That was a great defensive stop by Duke. They stayed in front of their men. They forced a shot. Now they're going to get a timeout. The best thing about this, they're going to get some rest.
Belmont, the 15th seed, leading number 2, Duke, 70-69. Bob Wenzel, this is what remains. Belmont with 3 timeouts. Duke with only 1. They have possession, but the possession arrow will point to Belmont.
Very, very significant because it's likely there will be a loose ball and a scramble. Belmont, last 2 years, have lost to teams that have made it to the Final Four and the championship game in the case of UCLA. Mr. Wick is on the floor, even though it's a defensive situation. Where will Duke go?
1 minute left. Duke down by 1 with possession. Henderson. Oh, it was in. It came out. And Rick Berg uses 1 of 3 timeouts. What is going through Coach K's mind? Just broke the huddle. Belmont still with 2 timeouts remaining. The Blue Devils with 1.
Differential on the shot clock, 16 seconds. They do not need to foul. Henderson, it was down and popped out. They went to him, and he was the likely candidate to get them ahead. Didn't do it.
19-point night for Henderson. Oh, everyone on their feet in Washington. 44 ticks left. Belmont trying to pull the upset. The 15th seed over the number 2.
Duke needs a miss and a rebound.
Wick.
I would stay home with Wick and don't even help.
Hare hands it off to the gunner. Renfro. Shot clock. Single digits. Down to 7. Down to 6. Renfro on the dribble. The drive with 5. With 4. That ball's off the mark. Guess who? Henderson rebounds with 16 seconds to play. Duke coming across midcourt. Coast to coast! Unbelievable! Henderson, coast to coast, the guts! Unreal! Belmont across midcourt. Hare, 7, 6, no! Rebound and a whistle. Jump ball is the call.
Belmont basketball. What a play by Henderson. Watch him read. The seed departs, and he slices through. The rebound, the full court play. Henderson, the hero so far.
4 seconds to play. Belmont will have possession, down by 1. 71-70. Duke with the lead after the driving layup by Gerald Henderson, who took it from one baseline to the other. Bob Wenzel, what's the strategy?
You practice out of bounds plays ad nauseum. Right here, they executed early and got a layup. There'll be a screen, the screener play. Duke should switch.
Renfro, alley-oop, throws it away, and Nelson is fouled. Out of the timeout. A critical turnover.
Right here, the lob play. They're screening the screener, and the switch was there. Nelson, athleticism involved. And for a team that made very few mistakes the entire game, that was one they could not afford. Still 2.1 to go right here.
So 2.7 to play, free throws ahead. And at the line for Duke will be DeMarcus Nelson.
Right now, Bird is talking to his guys about a play of a miss. These are the special situations that you practice and line out of bounds plays.
Nelson with 1 bucket, first free throw attempt tonight. How big? 2.7 on the clock. Off the rim and timeout. Now they may have to put more time back up. It ran down to 1.7. Belmont with with 2.2 seconds to pull off the upset. 71-70 Duke after the driving layup by Gerald Henderson. And now, Coach, 2.2 to play.
Bryce Drew is in the building. Remember Valparaiso in 1998. The long pass and the tip for the shot. Remember Duke in the NCAA tournament against Kentucky. Christian Leitner's turnaround jumper. That's what they're looking for right here.
So 2.2 to play. And Peoples will inbound for Belmont. At midcourt. Hare lets it fly. No! It's over. And Duke advances to round 2.
What an unbelievable game. Rick Byrd is a fantastic coach, and Belmont pulls at your heartstrings. What an effort by this Atlantic Sun team.